Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, now we start the story of Prophet Youssef or Joseph, one of the most beautiful and informative stories. As we may recall, Prophet Ibrahim had two sons, Ishaq and Ismail. Prophet Ishaq had one son, Prophet Yaqub. Prophet Yaqub's story is intertwined with his son, Prophet Youssef. So we cover the stories together, inshallah. To track where we are, this is going to be the 10th and 11th prophet we talk about. This is out of the 25 mentioned in the Quran. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that Prophet Youssef is the honorable, son of the honorable, son of the honorable, son of the honorable. 4 consecutive generations of prophets. Ibrahim, Ishaq, Yaqub, Youssef, may God be pleased with all of them. No one else in humanity had such a status. A chapter in the Quran is named after Youssef. The scholars said that no person with a heavy heart reads that chapter without having God wiping out or easing that sadness. So if we are feeling down or want to feel a bit of calm and serenity, inshallah we read Surah Youssef and inshallah it helps. This surah was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the year of sadness. That year, his uncle Abu Talib passed away. Also his beloved wife Khadija passed away. They passed away 3 days apart. The town of Ta'if refused the Prophet's entry and they were quite hostile toward him. So the Prophet was quite sad. God eased his sadness through 2 items. Number 1, revealing Surah Youssef. The other is a journey of the Isra and Al-Mi'raj, which is a journey from the Holy Mosque in Mecca to the Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, and then ascending to heaven, which is a whole story by itself. One thing interesting about Surah Youssef, as you may have noticed throughout the stories of the prophets we discussed so far, their stories are mentioned in different places in the Quran. It took or required effort to be gathered and arranged in sequence so we can follow the story. The story of Prophet Youssef, however, is fully complete in one location and in sequence in that one chapter. Another fundamental difference I would like to mention. Some of the previous stories, such as the story of Prophet Noah, Hud, Saleh, or Lut, peace be upon all of them, it all started with the Prophet inviting their people, giving them advice and guidance. Then each one of those stories ended up with a calamity and a punishment at the end. The story of Prophet Youssef is the opposite. It started with the sequence of hardships and calamities for him, then it had a pleasant and joyous ending. So how does the story start? This time, inshallah, we will follow very closely the Surah Youssef. How did that chapter or that surah start? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, we have revealed a Quran in Arabic so you would comprehend. We relay to you the best of stories, referring to the stories of the prophets, as you were previously unaware. These stories existed in bits and pieces in the New Testament and in the Old Testaments, but they were incomplete and not properly preserved. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to properly inform and teach Prophet Muhammad and the rest of us. Let's start inshallah with some background. Youssef, peace be upon him, had one full younger brother, Benjamin, same father, same mother. He also had 10 half-brothers. They all shared the same father but had different moms. So in total, he had 11 brothers. His father, Prophet Jacob or Yaqub, had another name in the Quran, Israel or Israel. So his descendants were called Bani Israel or the descendants of Israel. Yusuf's brothers used to be very envious and jealous of him. Why were they envious? Number 1, he was so incredibly handsome. And number 2, they felt that he is favored by his father over them. Inshallah, we continue the story next time.